Facebook. How are you? Sorry, we're trying to set up at this restaurant, this amazing place called Gourmands.
We're at Gourmands.
Gourmands Kitchen.
In Cyprus, in Bridgeland. Because
Who's the owner? What's his name?
His name's Chris. He's amazing.
So awesome. He made us these lovely
mango margaritas.
Delicious. We're super excited.
So good.
So this is Raquel Seals.
Hi.
And I'm so excited to have her here for the Connection Project episode 3. I'm just trying to see who's joining on. If you guys are jumping on your lunch break this week, we're so excited to have you here. Raquel is one amazing woman. She has such a powerful journey that I cannot wait to share with you guys today. We're talking about connection. We're talking about her journey through all of her hardships and how she's gotten to where she is and how she shares that with her community and so many people in the Houston area and all over the country. And she's an amazing mother. So we're just going to explore all that today. So we're Connection Project and it's episode 3. It's my favorite number and it's a beautiful day outside. So number 3. So I usually just start by asking people that I'm sitting down with, super casual, what does connection mean to you?
Whenever I think of connection, I get really specific and just go human connection.
Yeah.
Connecting with each other as humans, I feel like has been really, really hard in the last, few decades, just because with all of the technology and social media and all of that, it's harder to connect with humans in person. Like, for example, if you met someone online and then you met them in person, it might be a little awkward. So one thing that I absolutely love about connection and yoga in general is that whenever I teach yoga, it gives me the opportunity to connect with that person, even if they're uncomfortable with human connection. I get the opportunity to show them connection in a different light, and that's really, really cool to me. I feel like I'm extremely privileged to have that opportunity. It's life-changing.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
I think without yoga, it'd be so much harder to connect. Like if you were to just walk up to somebody and just smile and say, "How are you?" They'd probably look at you like you're crazy because who does that anymore, right?
Right.
I've been to a lot of different women's empowerment workshops. The Wild Woman retreat that I just went on in Aruba with Jessie Mendez. Oh my God, amazing.
Yes.
Jessie is amazing, and she's having another one in February. I'm probably going.
Yes.
But so one thing that I learned is that we as women don't connect. It's very hard for us to connect. It's almost
really
this society that we're raised in, that we're born into, and that we're groomed in. We're groomed to be against each other instead of connecting. So when we connect, it's such a huge thing. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
So it's really, really nice to get that opportunity every single day with my students. And just to learn more about them on a more personal level and to be as authentic as I can be with them, that helps us to connect more because we realize that so many of us have the same struggles. That person that you think might be, mad at you or not in the same corner as you, they can be going through the exact same thing as you are, and all it takes is a smile, a wave, a conversation.
Yeah,
just connecting in that way.
Absolutely. And speaking of yoga, take us back to pre-current Raquel. Take us back to what started all of this. What's your journey? What does it look like for you?
What's interesting is that I hear lots of people say, "Oh, I wish I had yoga when I was younger." I definitely wish I had yoga when I was younger.
Right, me too.
When I had both my daughters, I was in abusive relationships with both my daughters during my pregnancies. So
hard.
It was crazy. So what was interesting is that I remember that if I had had yoga during those pregnancies, it probably would have been a little easier.
Sure.
And I don't have any regrets because every single point where I feel like I could have just died, I pushed through, I lived through, and that's just amazing. So whenever I decided that I needed to do something, I had already had a heart attack. That was when my daughter, that's now 14, was 3.
Wow.
And I was pre-diabetic. I wasn't 30 yet. I was 260 pounds, and I hated my body. I didn't like myself. I couldn't even be alone. And I was just kind of in this deep, dark depression. And I was like, I have to do something, because if I don't do something to change this, then I'm probably not going to get to see my kids graduate. So I was like, I got to do something. So
was connection at the forefront of your mind at that point, or was your health?
It was definitely my health. However, and this is interesting because we were kind of talking about this before. However, social media actually really helped me because I would see girls like Jessamine Stanley doing yoga and standing on her head when she was, however much she weighed, and that empowered me so much because she just doesn't care what people think about her, and I so wanted to be there. I so wanted to be comfortable enough with my own body to do yoga and just be out there and just shine my light. And I wanted that so badly. So just watching her online and just watching her journey really helped me. And I don't think that I would have really gotten into yoga if it weren't for Instagram, which sounds pretty bad. I started doing a lot of Instagram challenges. That was my thing. I'd start doing those.
I've seen a lot of that on Instagram.
I started doing those, and those really helped me. And then I started buying books. And then eventually, after like 5 years of doing yoga by myself at home, I went to a gym and I found this amazing teacher. His name's Kevin. He's amazing, Kevin Kyle. And he took me on a journey like you didn't know you were in a gym anymore. And after taking his classes for a while, I was like, you know what? I think I'd really like to do this. And at that point in time, I had been a retail manager for 8 years. And I thought that that's what I was supposed to do.
If anybody's ever worked in retail, you know exactly where she's at.
It's terrible. It's terrible. So I've been a retail manager for 8 years. I had missed every Thanksgiving, every Christmas Eve, all of the holidays. And I have 2 daughters who definitely want to spend their holidays with their mom. So I got to the point where I just had to do something. So I decided to get my yoga certification. And even though I was like, oh, it's too expensive, I made a way. I found a way. I went through like Skillin. I got my certification in August of 2015. And it did take me a little while to start, teaching and wanting to teach and being comfortable. And I'll definitely say that helped me so much. By the time I got my certification, I had lost 100 pounds. I had really gotten back on track. I had gotten into portion control and all of that. So doing yoga and walking and doing light weights. Like I wasn't even lifting heavy until I actually got certified. So currently, this February I decided to stop eating meat. So I've been vegetarian pretty much since then. I did break a little bit in Aruba, but just a little fish. I've stuck to my vegetarianism this whole time pretty much, and that's helped me tremendously with my health and just how I feel in my body. And I literally have committed to doing yoga every single day, no matter what. Even if I'm doing it at home, I take class. Whether I'm teaching 4 classes or not, I take my class because it's so important to have your own practice.
So what's the best thing that you get as far as connection to yourself? Like yoga's been such a powerful tool for you in your journey through self-love, through healing past traumas, and then being able to translate that into helping other people. Like, what do you find in your practice? And I know it varies because I'm just getting into practicing yoga too, and every time I practice, I feel something different. But like, what is the core gain for you as far as connection to yourself that you get when you practice?
I'm going to agree with you on that because every single time is different. Every single teacher is different.
Right.
It really just depends. There was a long time where when I started practicing in studios, I stayed in my comfort zone because I would only go to one teacher, and then one day
that's where I'm at right now.
My boss was like, you should try some other classes.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, I love Sean.
Right.
So yeah, eventually I started branching out and learning so much more. I'll say now, the biggest part of my practice is learning when to stop, learning when to be still, reminding myself that I can be still no matter where I'm practicing. And I think at first I was just kind of like, oh, I should keep going. Like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here?
Right.
And I had to remind myself that I'm not just here to move. I'm here to be still too. I'm here to be still. I'm here to breathe. I'm here to reconnect to my breath. I'm here to know what my body's limits are. And know what my mind's limits are. Because I will tell you, my mind gets way more challenged than my body.
That is the biggest key to yoga. People think that yoga is just going in and stretching on a mat and saying Om and doing all that stuff. Like, I knew better than that, but even going to my first yoga class was like mind-blowing. The experience I had with my mind. And being still. I like being still because I'm moving constantly. So I enjoy that. But what came up when I was still after doing a practice in Savasana was I can't even, it's very hard to explain.
That's amazing that you had that experience, because it takes some people years.
I mean, I've
to
had
have
like,
that experience.
It's like your higher consciousness comes down and just like holds you for a minute and tells you, you know what, all you have to do is be you. Like, that's it.
What's interesting
and
is that I met
stronger than you think.
I met someone in Aruba, and he was writing like rhymes and things like that, and I saw that he had like a big X on something, and I was like, why'd you X this out? And he was like, oh, it's no good. It was the first thing that came to my mind, and it actually like dawned on me something. So when we meditate, right, we have, but without meditating, we have all these distractions, right? Like life is a complete and total distraction. Everything's a distraction. There's so much noise. There's so much noise all right here around your ears and around your head that sometimes you hear the saying, I can't think straight. I have so much going on. So it's all that noise. And then when you sit still and you get really quiet, you allow the distractions to kind of slow down. You're never going to be completely clear of thought. That's impossible. Right. But slowing them down allows you to kind of create quiet between what the universe has to say to you and what's actually reaching your ears. And so that's what Shavasana and meditation are kind of to me, is that it gives me that opportunity to hear all the stuff that I'm not hearing, all the stuff that, you know, the distractions are blocking.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I have all like, and now that I've opened myself up to that, I have them just randomly, like I'll meet someone. Like I told the girls in Aruba, I was like, I've actually already had visions about all of you. Like just thoughts, just random like scenes in my head. Yeah. And I don't even know like where they look like, where they live looks like, or anything like that. But just some of the things, just talking to them and listening to them talk, and I just automatically have something in my mind, like they're going to be successful here, that this is going to happen to them. It's going to be great.
You get so connected to not only your own energy, but you get connected to other people's energy. For sure. You know, and like if you're anything like me, you're super, super empathic, and I get around people and I just feel all of their energy. And part of it, right? And it can get so overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
Right?
Very
and
much
so. This my spiritual journey and my practice with connection to myself a lot lately has been, how do I kind of create a shield that's not detrimental to my connection with other people, but that protects myself from other people's negative energy, because I would just get so bogged down. Well, he's in a bad mood, therefore I'm automatically in a bad mood. You know, it's like I had to make sure that everybody around me was happy so that I could stay happy, because if people were sad around me, then I would just take all of that on and feel all of that energy and be depressed right along with them, and then you're just kind of a screwed up shit creek, right?
Exactly.
So it's like you have to kind of
you have to reverse it.
You do have to reverse it.
You have to be happy so that you can give what you have to give.
Right, exactly. And part of connecting to myself, especially through yoga and the mental strength and work and exercise that is, allows me to stay elevated, regardless of what's going on, and keep that positive energy going.
Absolutely.
It's so incredible.
It really is.
So
I'm obsessed.
I'm
completely obsessed.
Right?
Completely obsessed.
So we talked about social media a little bit earlier, and I think this is a really fascinating subject. And it's awesome that we're on social media, because one of my goals through this project is to use social media as a platform to create authentic connection, the way I think social media was originally intended to do, right? And these days, depression is so high, anxiety levels are so high, people are feeling more lonely now than they ever have in a really long time, despite our ability to reach out and connect with people through social media, through the World Wide Web, through telephones and getting on a plane and flying. People they still hide behind a wall, right? And social media has been a huge platform for you, for your yoga practice. You said it helped you get out of depression for a short time. You have a ton of followers on Instagram and on Facebook. So what would you say to somebody who is in that place on social media? How do you advise them to quit the comparison game? It's so easier said than done, right? To quit comparing your life to somebody else's on.
I still struggle with it, absolutely.
I do too, right? Absolutely. So like, how have you used social media to create authentic connections with people?
That's actually a really good point to make, and this is my point where I bring up booty yoga. And the reason is because
I still need to take your
class.
class.
Yes, you do. It's amazing. Not just my class, any booty yoga class. Any booty yoga class. Yes. So, okay. the reason that I love booty yoga so much is because that's exactly what Busy has created.
Yeah.
She's created this kind of openness. Like there's a booty yoga group.
Yeah.
There's over 20,000 women in this group. And there was one day where I was really, really down and depressed. And this just shows you the power. I was really down and depressed, and I posted in the group. And I mean, just posting and reaching out and being like, I'm at a ledge here. Like I'm feeling very down.
Right.
And I just had so many sisters reach out to me. Just so many people reach out to me. Like, I've made friends that I would not have made without that practice.
Right.
So just uplifting each other, that's kind of almost a rule in booty yoga.
Right.
So it's just really, really important to keep doing that. And doing that has made me feel like shining my light is even easier now.
Yes.
Because I have this thing where I can welcome people in, you know, and make them feel a little more comfortable with themselves, even if it's just for that moment.
Right.
I feel so blessed to be able to share that.
Yeah.
So, with reference to social media, a lot of the things that, you know, I see a lot of the other girls that do booty yoga, it's so authentic.
Yeah.
What they're posting. It comes from such a relatable place.
Right.
And I think that's super, super important, the human connection.
Absolutely.
So important. Like, be your most authentic self. I have gotten so much shit from people. You're being too open. You're talking too much. You need to be more private.
Right.
And I'm just like, you know, I went years and years being private and putting out little subtle bullshit cues. I'm sorry, I'm done with that shit.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna be my realest, most authentic self no matter what. And
so let's talk about that for a second, right? Let's talk about that for a second, because I have too. And in fact, recently, I've had somebody tell me that they're worried that I'm narcissistic because I'm talking too much on Facebook and I'm so excited about myself and, you know, all this stuff. And I was like, it took me down a little bit, because I was like, you know, because I'm really perceptive and I like to think I'm open to people's input and thoughts. And I was like, maybe this is a moment for some self-reflection. Like, am I narcissistic? And I was
but how amazing are you for taking a moment for self-reflection? Because most people won't do that.
Right. Most people won't do that. They'll just reject it immediately.
They'll either reject it or they'll get angry. But the problem with getting angry, and I learned this in Aruba, and I'm so fucking grateful for Jessie, because when I came back here, I realized that all the stuff I was taking on from other people, people being angry with me, people being ugly with me, it's not mine.
Right.
It's not mine.
Isn't that such a
it made me feel so free. Exactly. It's not mine. So I don't have to hold on to it. I can be kind and I can be sweet and I can give all the love that I can from afar, and if they want to stay angry, then the only person that your anger hurts is you. And I have to remind myself of that constantly. I'm like, is this really worth being angry over right now? Can I do anything about it? No? Oh, okay, then I probably shouldn't hold on to it.
Right.
Let that shit go. Like, I can't. So
it'll just eat you up from the inside out. You know? So people who are kind of just tiptoeing their feet into the waters of connection to themselves and maybe kind of awakening a little bit, and they're struggling with social media, or they're struggling with authentic connection. I know for me, unfortunately, and this was a really hard journey for me to go through in the beginning, because I'm such a people pleaser. I love it when people around me are happy, and I was taking on all the responsibility, to make everybody around me happy. And when they weren't, I was a failure, right? That was my mindset. And so kind of entering into my divorce process, and I know I'm sure you've gone through something similar. I had to intentionally cut people out of my life that weren't beneficial to what I knew where I was going, to my destination, right? And that, for people, I think, is one of the hardest things, because it could be family. It could be your children sometimes. It could be,
someone you think you're required to keep in your life, but you're not.
Right? Somebody who you think you have to love, or that you have to be and open up to them. So how do you, through social media, through connection, how do you get over that struggle? How do you give yourself permission to say, it's okay if I cut these people out because I know it's not beneficial to me? Like, you can say that all you want, but actually doing it, how do you do that?
So I'll say this. I literally explained this to my daughter, and this sounds so, and it can be definitely directly related to connecting with people on social media, like I told her,
people.
yeah,
who
absolutely.
Bring negativity
I actually
into your
haven't
feed.
unfriended anybody in a very long time, and I'm
Right.
really proud of that.
Right.
But so here's you.
Right.
Here's you. Your friend can be either up here in front of you, ignoring you because they don't want to look at what you're doing. Your friend can be behind you and watch you like a hawk and be ugly and try to tell you what to do and just be angry when you don't do what they want you to do.
Right.
Or your friend can be next to you and they can walk on this path with you.
Right.
And if they're not going to be next to you, then they can go. Like, because if you're headed on this path, it's almost as if you're walking up a mountain and you have like this kind of like boulder that's attached to a rope and it's like against your waist or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're walking up and you're trying to move forward and you're kind of letting that person just kind of keep you where you are.
Right.
And I had a friend like that.
Yeah.
Cut her ass off.
Right.
Because we weren't on the same path anymore.
Right.
And that's okay.
It's
We were friends for a long time.
Right.
And it took a lot. But I was just like, you know what? This is just not right for me anymore. So I just cut it off. And that's what you have to do. The fact that you have the strength to do it, that person may come back into your life and actually see benefit in being your friend.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Benefit that's not taking advantage of you or anything like that.
Right. Absolutely.
And even if it doesn't go that deep, even if it doesn't go that deep, for example, I know this may sound kind of shitty, but that's okay. If I look on somebody's Instagram page and they're posting about how pissed off they are, and, they're posting about political stuff that's just ugly all the time, like they're just being ugly, I'm gonna block them. I don't want that in my feed. I don't want to look at that every day.
Right.
So if you don't want to look at that, you just move past it. And if they ask you, you just be like, we're just not on the same path right now.
Right, and it doesn't have to be mean, and it doesn't have to. It can,
not be
and
ugly.
it can honestly come from a place of, I'm looking out for you too, because us being in a relationship right now, it's not helping me, and if it's not helping me, then I can't bring my authentic self to this relationship, and it's not going to help you either.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So it's like kind of like you have to be the stronger person and understand that you're not hurting them actually by cutting them out. You're giving them freedom to go and explore other things without the distraction of this relationship being a negative place for them and for you too.
Exactly.
You know, and it can be really kind, and you can sit down and have a conversation with somebody about it, or you can simply unfollow them. Or I don't know. For me, with my dad particularly, there was a knockdown, drag out fight. It was through the divorce, and I knew that I was a heavily influenced person because of my people pleasing tendencies.
I used to be like that.
Yeah,
I used to really be like that.
My dad was always somebody that I want his approval, and I want his support, and I want him to love me and approve of all of the things, right? So I knew I had done enough self-exploration that I couldn't ask his opinion about whether I should get a divorce or not. I couldn't ask his opinion about whether I should move to Wallace or not. I couldn't, because anything he said was going to be a distraction for what my true self really wanted, right? And him being so heavily involved in my life isn't good for him either.
No.
You know what I mean? So I cut a lot of people out. I just shut the door and I said, I'm gonna stop drinking, I'm gonna start writing, I'm gonna do all the things to understand what my true voice is saying. And he got mad.
Oh, I bet he did.
Oh, mad. Well, it's personal, and and I don't want to air the dirty laundry, but he got very, very upset. And I understand that. I'm his daughter. He's invested in my life and in my happiness and in my well-being, and I appreciate that so much. But I couldn't hear myself because I was listening to him. His voice was so loud,
Yeah. Distractions.
Exactly. And it's like, you have to just take a minute. And, I finally told him, I was like, it's not personal. I love you so much, and I love how much you love me. But
This is how much I love you.
This is how much I love you, because I want to just do me and not feel like I'm doing what you think I want you to be, or what you think I should be. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I'm like, I don't know if there's any comments, but that's Desiree. That's Anna Romaine's friend.
Hi.
Yeah. So yeah, people are hopping on and off, and so we're just chatting away.
Awesome.
But yeah, to be somebody as close as family like that, and to have the strength and the wherewithal to say, okay, I need to separate myself from that, and that has been huge.
Oh yeah,
that is
I bet it has.
Huge for me. You know, I didn't say, hey, what do you think about moving to Wallace? I said, I'm moving to Wallace. You know, I have a couple of things coming up in my life, and I've tried to open up to my parents about it, and you know, I could get some pushback, and I'm like, I just have to in one ear and out the other.
Exactly.
I know where I'm at.
You have to hone in on what you want.
I know
Absolutely.
where I'm at, you know. And going through struggles. Oh, I've got 20% battery left, guys. We're gonna try to.
Well, hopefully
the video keeps interrupting.
Hopefully, when we upload it, you'll be able to see the whole thing. I'm sorry, Anna.
Yeah, sorry, girl.
Love you, Anna.
I think we're having some connectivity issues.
Yeah, which really sucks.
I know. That's okay.
Okay.
You know, it's episode 3. We're learning.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about starting a podcast, actually.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Yeah.
I want to be on your podcast.
I know, but I really like the in-person. Like
this is
space,
really nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many podcasts out there, and it's cool because you don't have to watch it while you're listening to it. You can just like, maybe I'll do both.
Yeah, you can do both.
That's sounds fun. It's totally awesome.
Yeah.
So a couple things coming up for Raquel. She is, first of all, she's a $200 certified yoga instructor. We've already talked about that. She's amazing, right? And she is level 1 and 2 Reiki certified.
Yes.
And her with Marion Noon are going to be teaching.
So we're teaching for the Universal Fest. There's an array of events leading up to the Universal Festival. That's October 20th at Midtown Park. And this weekend, me and Miriam will be teaching a flow / yin and meditation class in Midtown Park. Looks like we might be live feeding it too. So my friends that are not here in this, you know, in this area can totally come and, you know, get online and watch it and do it. Super exciting. We're sponsored by Athleta Rice Village, so super huge thank you to Athleta Rice Village. They treated me so kindly last night when I went up there. I love them.
I know, I'm going with Marion to get her outfit.
Oh my God, super cute, so cute. They're amazing. And then DJ John Tran.
Dude, what he did with my picture is legit,
we love him.
right?
John Tran will be on the ones and twos, giving us the awesome DJ vibes.
What does that mean, the ones and twos?
He's going to DJ the event.
Okay.
And then here's some...
like, I don't know what that means, the ones and twos.
And then Samuel will be playing his beautiful singing bowls for us at the end. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. I've heard him play bowls so many times, and it's amazing. So I'm super excited.
Kill me now.
We will also have Arthur going around and giving adjustments and massages.
Arthur Thornell has magic hands, you guys.
He's amazing. So I'm super excited. So if you guys can come, it's a free event. We are taking donations for the Houston Food Bank.
Yeah.
But it is a free event, and we would love to have you guys out there.
So are kids welcome too?
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I'm bringing my kids.
Yes. So that is there we go. Connection
There we go.
available
Yay.
now. I do want to touch on that a little bit with you being a mother, going through all of this as a mom. Being a mom is so incredibly difficult.
Oh my God,
just in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when you have past trauma or unhealthy relationships on top of it, they've watched you from day one.
They have.
Go through this transformation.
They have.
Right? And they're both girls.
They're both
right?
girls.
How old are they?
Jamie just turned 9 and Lilith is 14.
Oh my gosh, like tough ages.
Yeah.
Right? Really tough ages.
But they're great.
And what do you understand their feelings about watching this transformation, or how do you teach them about what you've learned?
So one of the things that Lilith was quite a bit older. Like when she was younger and I had my heart attack, I was homeless and she wasn't staying with me. Clearly,
Chick was homeless, you guys, and look where she is now. This is strength personified. Strength personified. I'm not even kidding you.
When I really didn't have anywhere to go, she doesn't remember any of that, luckily, thank God. But as she got older and I was really depressed, I know that she it was hard for her to see me like that. But to be honest, hi Marion. Ooh,
hey girl,
hi Marion. So
my hair is not messy.
No, your hair looks great. You look fantastic. Lilith actually came out and told me when she was like 9 or 10 that she was really proud of what I was doing. This was right when I started, trying to lose weight and walking every day. Like I would walk to their school to pick them up and walk back. Like just doing that and trying to be as physical as possible as much as I could.
Right.
Eating a little bit better. Like, she saw me go through all that, and she actually didn't realize that it like affected them the way it did. But then she did this school project on me when she was like 11. And, yeah, it brought me to tears. I was crying. She talked about how my mom used to have this really hard, she used to always have 2 jobs, because I did.
Yeah.
Through both pregnancies, and after, kept a full-time job and a part-time job in retail, always. I was constantly working 65 hours a week.
Oh my gosh.
And, yeah. And then she was like, my mom used to work all these hours, and now she's a yoga teacher, and she can actually take care of us, and it's awesome. And it was really, like, it really, like, heartstrings, seriously. It was incredible. And then when I started taking them to the events with me, and they started doing yoga with me, that was super huge.
Big time.
What's interesting is that I still do try to keep them physical. I don't force them to do yoga. Lilith, at her age, it makes sense that she's like obsessed with booty yoga. She loves it.
She's 14,
loves
the
it.
14
Yes. She wants to be an instructor.
Yeah.
She loves it. And then Jamie just loves yoga in general. Like, I take them both to a lot of meditation events around town and yoga events, and they love it. The yoga community and the meditation community in this city is incredibly welcoming to my children, and I'm so, so grateful. They're also very, very intuitive kids. Like, I've taken them to multiple events around town, and they just shine. And it's so wonderful. Awesome. And I just want them to know, as they go into like teenage years, adult years, that they have to keep shining. Like, at no point can they.
I'm trying to see what that is. Broadcast interrupted.
That's too late.
Come do the second
It's too late.
hano.
We're almost done.
Might come visit you though.
Right? I want to go visit. Oh my gosh. So it's just really, really exciting to kind of just keep them in a place where they will keep shining from their hearts and just showing who they are, and just being really open, and just never, never, never holding that back. I just don't want them to ever block that.
Yeah.
Because I totally blocked them. It sucks.
I did too.
Yeah.
You know, and it's come from conditioning. And, you know, I love what our parents, your parents, my parents, anybody's parents, that generation, I love, what they did for us. They did the best they could with what they had. And I think that's what all of us ever can do, is do the best with what we have.
Absolutely.
But I love that there is a shift of awakening happening in this generation.
Absolutely.
You know, and to be able to go through these journeys as young adults. I mean, we're not old, we're not young either.
Yeah.
You know, kind of not even trying to undo past traumas, but rewire.
Absolutely.
You know, with the knowledge and the experience that we have, and come out on the other side. Absolutely. A little bit better, a little bit more awakened, a little bit more in touch, a little bit more loving, a little bit more compassionate. You know?
Yeah.
I think is huge. And for those of us that do have children, to be able to transfer that experience and that knowledge to the younger generations, and hopefully there's more of them than there are of us today. And, and to be able to kind of keep perpetuating this journey, right? Because everybody goes through their own journey, and there's going to be a ton of shit, I'm sure, that my kids are going to grow up and be like, my mom did blah blah blah. You know? Like, I'm sure there's going to be it. But yeah, just so excited to spend time with you. Thank you so much for sharing with me. We love Gourmand's Kitchen.
We love Gourmand's.
Guys, you have to come here. I've never been here before.
Their food's so good.
Yes,
it's amazing.
They have been so helpful for us.
If you're in the Cypress area, seriously, you have to come here and check it out. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And their service is superb.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just the food. Their service is amazing.
Yes. And if you have any questions for Raquel, just friend her, follow her on Instagram. It's Yoga Goddess.
Yoga.Goddess 420.
Yeah. If you can come join them for yoga at the Universal Fest. Where is it? Discovery Green?
No, it's at Midtown Park.
Midtown Park. Saturday, 9 o'clock.
Saturday at 9 a.m. is when we'll start checking people in and registering people and all of that. And then I think we start at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
But at 9 is when we'll open things up.
It's going to be an epic community yoga event.
So
We're super
excited. So excited. Oh, Anna, what's your question?
I have a question. What's your question, girlfriend? Says
it is working.
I don't know if this stream.
Ask your question.
We can see your question. I don't have my glasses on though.
I can read it.
Can you?
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Do you teach your girls yoga? Yes. So I actually It is, I will tell you, it's really hard for me to teach them by myself. They do much better in groups because with Lilith is really good at meditation. She will just sit down and meditate when she's angry, when she's upset, when she's anxious. She's really good about that. Jamie, on the other hand, is a little bit harder. She can sit for about 7 minutes and then she's like up. Right. But they both do better in groups. I would absolutely love to do some things with your children, Anna. That would be amazing. I would love to come with my kids and us all do it together. That'd be awesome.
I would love to do with my kids
10
too.
and 13. I mean, those are amazing ages to get started. But I found that Jamie does much better in groups. So on New Year's Eve, I was going through an Intro to Zen meditation workshop, and it was a 5-week project. So the last 3 weeks, I took Lilith with me, and everyone loved getting her insight. And then on New Year's Eve, they had an hour of meditation, and then we did bows, 108 bows.
What is that? Like actual bows?
Yeah, like actual bows. Like you, down to your knees, you bow, you get up. So Jamie did the whole meditation, did not make one sound.
Wow.
She did the seated, we did a lying, and we did a walking meditation. She did really well with all of that. She was very quiet, very well behaved. And then she did all 108 bows with me.
That's amazing.
And it completely changed my perception on children and meditation. They do so much better in groups. And actually last year I did 2 workshops. One was Big Yogi, Little Yogi, and it was for the older kids. And then I did Big Yogi, Little Yogi with the younger kids.
Yeah.
And my older one, the older one, both of the kids came and they helped me teach, and they were epic. I mean, I was like, God, they're so good. Like, I just did not expect them to do so well teaching. I was just going to have them there to demo, but they did so well. I was so blown away.
Cool.
So yeah, I think kids work really, really great. I know she said interrupted again, but she'll still see it. It'll record it.
Yeah.
But absolutely, in groups, they do so much better.
Yeah. And then do you feel like working with kids like just brings a whole different perspective to your practice?
Absolutely.
Like kids are so much closer to source than we
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
They haven't
Way
had
closer, way closer.
the jadedness of life experience
Oh my
yet.
God, thank God.
You know?
I will tell you that I don't teach kids yoga. I would
Okay.
rather teach kids meditation, and I'd rather not, like, it's a little harder to do it at the studio. But when I've gone to like actual events where the room is kind of set up to where it's dark and they're sitting and
Like
there's
at Kahane,
there's some
that would be
that'd
awesome.
be awesome. Oh my God, that'd be so great.
Yeah.
And there's like adults in there too. When they all do it together, it's so much better. The kids focus so much easier. So
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We should make that happen.
I should reach out to Kahane. I haven't actually. I don't teach there. I just practice there.
Or when I live in Austin and I have a bunch of acres and I have my organic
know,
farm,
my God, yes, seriously.
then we'll host
I'm already
kid meditation sessions.
envisioning your place in Austin.
It's going to be so awesome. Does anybody have any more questions? I can't
I
read.
think there's one person on there. No, it says she's interrupted, but that was a while
okay,
back. So.
gotcha. But yeah, man, I freaking love doing this. I'm so glad that you came and that we were able to carve out some time to chat.
Seriously, me too.
Beyond.
This is amazing. I love you so much.
We met through Marion.
We met through Marion. I've met so many wonderful people through Marion.
And I just love Raquel so much. You're such an inspiration.
I love you so much.
Like, I'm so grateful that you're a part of this. If you guys have any questions, follow Raquel.
Please reach out to me.
Friend her on Facebook.
I would love to talk.
Take her classes. She posts on Facebook all the time about her classes.
And I'm working on getting some online stuff up and running. Right now, my YouTube's pretty gone. Well, I mean, I've only got like 3 videos up there. I need to like really work on it. So, Anna, I don't know if you heard me, but I was saying that kids do much better in groups, and yes, I would love that. And I'm going to reach out to you.
What did she say? I can't read that.
She said she wants to do yoga and medication for the kids together.
Yes,
I'm
and
telling
I think that
you,
could be a really healing
great.
experience
Absolutely.
for the parents
and then
the
using
kids.
the singing bowl helps them so much. Like, it helps to relax them. And I have one. I'm working on getting another one. So I would love to do that, Anna. Seriously. Oh, she's so sweet. I love you, Anna.
I can't even believe. Do you know where I met Anna? I met her at Papa's on the Lake.
Wow.
Right in Conroe, there was some concert thing going, and I was dancing, and I saw her, and she was dancing, and then we ended up just dancing and chatting together.
The cutest shit
and then
I've ever in my life.
we ended up hanging out all night. It was so fun.
We love you too, Anna.
Yes. Well, we're gonna let you guys get back to work. It's about 12:45,
We're gonna freaking eat.
We're gonna eat some
the food
lunch.
here is so good.
Yeah, so
The
we
food
love
is
you.
amazing.
We love you. We love you guys. Don't forget to go out, spread love, be authentic in who you are. Have no fears about that, guys.
Yes,
because the people that are gonna support you are gonna rally around you, and everybody else is gonna
And that's
fall
what you
out.
want
and
anyway.
that's
You
what
want the people around you that are gonna lift you up.
Absolutely. So, Connection Project episode 3 coming to a close. We'll upload this. Raquel will upload this on
I'm
her
gonna
Facebook
repost it
page.
absolutely so you guys can watch it.
I'm gonna post a link on my Instagram. So I hope you
Yes.
guys have an awesome week.